Today, we're diving into the story of a truly historic journey. We're talking about a 254-day trip around the entire globe on a small sailboat with an all-women crew from the Indian Navy. It's a story that's just packed with courage, unbelievable skill, and, it completely shatters every stereotype you can think of.
But here's the thing. To really get what they accomplished, we're not going to start at the beginning. No, we're jumping right into the middle of it all, right into their single most dangerous moment, an absolutely terrifying encounter in the huge, unforgiving South Pacific. So just try to picture this for a second. Waves swelling up to 9 or 10 meters high. That's like a 3-story building coming at you. And the wind? We're talking 60 to 70 knots. That's basically hurricane force on land. And these aren't my words. These are the skipper's, LT Commander Vartika Joshi, describing what they were up against. This wasn't just some storm, this was a full-on battle for survival. So you have 6 women on one small sailboat, locked in a 20-hour battle for their lives. The big question is, how in the world did they get here? And even more importantly, how did they make it through? To answer that, now we got to go back to the very beginning of their mission. Okay, so this voyage, its official name was Navika Sagar Parikrima. And let me tell you, it was so much more than just a sailing adventure. This was a national mission, a really big deal for India.
Right at the heart of this whole thing was this concept called Nari Shakti. It literally means women power. And this expedition, it was meant to be this powerful global statement, a way to show the world that India is all in on empowering women to achieve anything.
But it wasn't just about that. The mission had a few other big goals too. First, it was a chance to show off India's Make in India initiative, because their sailboat, the INSV Tarini, was built right there in the country. On top of that, the crew was doing some serious scientific work, collecting all sorts of data on weather, the ocean, even monitoring marine pollution. And of course, the whole thing was designed to get more people in the Indian Navy excited about ocean sailing. All right, so who were these women, really? Who made up this incredible crew? Now, you might think they were a bunch of seasoned expert sailors, right? Well, not at all. They were 6 remarkable officers who actually volunteered for a challenge that was pretty much unheard of. And get this is maybe the most surprising part of the whole story. They started out as complete beginners. The skipper herself said that when they started, none of them had ever been on a sailboat or an ocean-going boat before. I mean, think about that for a second. It just makes what they accomplished in the end even more mind-blowing. And just to give you a sense of the personal leap they were taking, 4 of the 6 crew members were from the mountains. The skipper even said that the first time her parents ever saw the ocean was when she invited them to come visit her. So they weren't just crossing seas, they were crossing entire worlds, really. So how do you go from total novice to world-class sailor? Well, it took an intense 3-year training regimen. They started in the classroom, learning all about navigation, communication, and how to predict the weather. But then they got into the really crucial hands-on stuff, like how to fix anything and everything on the boat, and even how to handle medical emergencies. They even did some big preparatory voyages, sailing all the way to Mauritius and Cape Town just to get some real-world experience under their belts. So after 3 long years of just relentless preparation, the day finally came. They were ready. It was time to set off on their 254-day odyssey around the entire planet. 254. Just let that number sink in for a minute. 254 days. That's more than 8 months out at sea, just them and their boat navigating some of the most difficult waters on Earth. So their global expedition kicked off from Goa, India, back in September of 2017. From there, they crossed the Indian Ocean and hit Fremantle, Australia. Then it was on to New Zealand. After that, they tackled the really tough part around the Falklands, then crossed over to Cape Town, South Africa, before finally making that last leg back home to Goa in May 2018. But life out there on the open ocean is a real mix. It's all about these huge contrasts. I mean, for every terrifying moment of hardship and fear, like that crazy storm we talked about, there were these other moments of just absolute, profound wonder. I mean, can you even imagine seeing the brilliant southern lights from the middle of the sea, the whole sky just lighting up in a sea of green? They talked about seeing bioluminescence in the water, where the ocean itself glows, and having dolphins just playing in the wake of their boat. Wow. These are the kind of incredible rewards you get for that kind of incredible courage. And through it all, they made that boat a home. To keep their spirits up, they celebrated everything. They cooked amazing meals. We're talking prathas, cakes, even traditional sweets. They celebrated 3 birthdays out there at sea, including the boat's first birthday. This wasn't just a crew trying to get a job done. They really became a family.
And all of this, it brings us to the real legacy of their journey. Because beyond all the records they broke and the awards they received, what they discovered out there was a really fundamental truth. A truth about skill, courage, and gender.
Think about it like this. Here on land, society often puts up all these limitations and stereotypes based on gender, right? But out there on the water, the sea is the ultimate equalizer. It is an impartial force. It doesn't care if you're a man or a woman. All it cares about is your skill, your ability to work as a team, and your resilience.
And this really is the most powerful lesson from their entire voyage, and it comes straight from the skipper. She said, "The sea does not discriminate between genders. It is always gender neutral." They realized that gender just doesn't play a role in sailing, and they didn't just prove it to themselves. They proved it to the entire world.
So their incredible journey absolutely smashed barriers out on the waves, and it really leaves you with a final question, doesn't it? If they broke these barriers at sea, what barriers are next to be broken right here on land?